Hi again. I'm back with another little video, and in this video I'm doing a detour back again. It's not my art, although the book does have a little bit of my art in terms of my photographs, and if you see the most recent short, which I'll link at the end of this video, it does share some improvements that I did in the book. The book that I'm talking about is the book explaining occupational therapy, which is called Healing Your Life Through Activity. And I recently received an email with somebody asking me what inspired me to write the book. So I thought I'd share very quickly. I do mention it in the book itself. And as the person asked me, do I have an introduction? Yes, if you purchase the book and you read the book, there is an introduction in the book. And I'm pretty sure in the introduction is where I mention what inspired me to write the book. It was requested by the family of some students that I worked with, some children that I was working with, and actually some adults that I worked with made certain requests as well. And so eventually, over time, I got to write the book, then change direction as to certain information and certain content. I had a challenge because I originally wrote 32 very detailed case studies and decided that they were a little bit problematic to be putting them into a book format. It would be fine as a reference tool for students or for other occupational therapists, but to help the general public to understand occupational therapy, there were a few problems that arose. And so I changed direction and instead used my work experience to help to illustrate what occupational therapy is. And one of the changes that I made in revising my book was to take out all the royalty-free photographs that I'd used and instead to put in my own photographs. So some of them do have a little bit of my art, some of them have other products that we've made, some of them have other important things that are good to share in an occupational therapy book that I happen to have done the photography of. So it's now become more my artwork that's in it, which is really nice. And that's opened the door to my going back and revising a lot of the journals and workbooks that I'm working on. I'm going to be tweaking the interiors. I'm undecided the extent to which I'll be changing all the covers. Some of the covers I might be changing. Over time, I'm hoping to, the new books that I create, to rather have it all my own work instead of using elements from Canva or whatever else, that program that I'm using, whether it's MS Word or another program, to rather have my own art illustrations. And that's one of the reasons for doing all the work to improve my drawing skills. So that's a little bit about my book explaining what occupational therapy is, which again is called Healing Your Life Through Activity. Yes, there's a reason as to why I chose that wording, because I wanted to demonstrate that occupational therapy has a part to play covering the full life cycle. So we work with clients right from the start of life going through to the end of life, and that could be old age or it could be the end of life if somebody unfortunately passes away at any younger stage in their life cycle. It goes through retirement, it goes through every stage of the life cycle. So if you read my book, you'll see exactly all the stages that I've included. And if you have any questions, please do be in touch. Either put a comment in the comments below in this video or put a positive review to the book on Amazon so that other people can find it also. And sometimes some people send me an email. So this is in response to the person who asked what inspired me to write the book. And one of the main inspirations was that it was requested. But there's another reason, something else that inspired me, and that is that I became frustrated when trying to advocate to obtain referrals, whether I was working in facilities and wanting to get referrals from the team, or whether it was, or permission to work with a certain student or client or patient in each of the different facilities or places that one works, the person will have a different title. So it could be a patient if they're in a hospital, a student if they're in a school. In other places we call them clients. Depends on where you're working with them. And also when I was working towards working privately, I had a lot of difficulty convincing people that what I was doing was occupational therapy. So it's another incentive to write the book, is to help people to explain to people what occupational therapy is, so that they can see quite clearly what it is we do, the fact that we actually do help throughout the life cycle. And it's helped me also to change direction and to use my occupational therapy in other ways. So it's had a lot of benefits to writing the book. If you have other questions, as I say, do put a question in the comments below. And I look forward to chatting in another video. Ciao for now.